I'd like to talk about God today. I grew up believing in God, believing He was there, believing He was with me, believing I was safe. I went through a time in my life when I lost my faith in God. I blamed Him. I blamed Him for the abuse, the molestations, the rapes, being hungry, being homeless, having my children taken from me, having my children despise me, really, and I don't blame them at all. I had my first daughter when I was 16 years old. I'd gotten married at 15. I had just gotten out of a mental health institute and jail. I'd spent quite a few years from the age of 13 and a half to 15. I celebrated my 15th birthday in the Eric Martin Pavilion in Victoria, BC. I've always been, I felt caged. That was the only word I could describe my situation. Anytime I was around people in a position of power, I was either abused physically or mentally, but mostly spiritually. I believe all the suffering I went through was trying to dim down my light. And I turned away from God. And I let my ego, my alter ego, take over. I became aggressive, defensive, jealous, envious. Made me sick to my stomach. I just turned 52, and there's a lot of history in between, and I'm trying to make sense of it all, and I still keep coming back to the same conclusion. They want me to be quiet. The last few years, well, I'd have to say the last 6-7 full years, I came back to God. I made peace with Him. He forgave me. So I've just been sitting here trying to get my message out. And it's pretty bad when your own ego wants to block you as well from saying what I have to say. We're here to help each other. God, Jesus, the angels, they work through us because we are in physical form. Yes, the angels are with us. Yes, God is with us. And yes, Jesus is with us. But there's also a dark side of that, because we have people that believe that it's the devil doing all these nasty things. They're blaming demons and extraterrestrials for the demise that's here on planet Earth right now. But the fact of the matter is, it's the person doing the act And the person made the choice. And the choice is to do what they're doing. So, in my heart, I believe we, as a collective of human beings in the physical, have a choice to make. I'm choosing love, not fear anymore. I don't give a rat's ass what people think of me anymore, because the company I keep keeps me happy, uplifts me, and I wake up every day grateful for another day, a new start, a new beginning. I just want to help people. I want to help God. And the messages need to get out there, like, whether it's from me or from someone else. There's an accountability there. I was raised never to put anybody or anything above God. He is our creator. He created the earth. He created the universes. He's created everything. So, why is there so much separateness from one church to another church? Why? And you should ask yourself that question. Why? Why that church needs to have so much control? I was raised, that was wrong. I used tarot cards, I talked to my angels, but I never put them above God. I'd never worshipped them as the all-knowing. My prayer for you today is to find peace in your heart, to find the light that's inside you, your life force. Because if that life force wasn't there, that body would be limp. You cannot fill up your cup or your heart with material things, thinking they'll make you happy, because it never lasts. Sure, you're happy for the first few days, but then deep down, you're back thinking again. And then you're looking around at all this material items that you've acquired over your lifetime. And how much joy has those items really brought you? I've been working on my trailer because it's my home, and I'm very grateful for it. It may not be the best house on the block, but it shelters me from the storms. It's my safe haven. I can come into my home and the outside world just doesn't exist for me. My dog is definitely an angel that was sent to me. I had 2 dogs, Junior and Fawn. Last year, March 15th, my partner at the time just went to let the dogs out. Well, it turns out there were wolves in our driveway. My Junior was grabbed. He lived like a full 24 hours afterwards. But then eventually he passed away March 16th. That loss. He was my bubby, you know? I know he's here with me in spirit. I miss him. My lesson that I'm learning is that just because they're not with us in the physical doesn't mean they're not with you in spirit, in energy. I feel them with me. I have a little stuffed animal of his that says the Lord's Prayer. And we all lived on a boat for about 6 years, off-grid in Tofino. And this little bear, got deep sixed more than a dozen times and went through the washing machine, you know. And it never worked for years. And the day that Junior passed on, within an hour, his little teddy bear started playing the Lord's Prayer. At night when I sleep and I'm dreaming, he keeps me grounded. His little toy will go off in the middle of the night and it wakes me up and brings me back because I'm here for a reason. Even though I don't want to be. I'd rather be with my parents and my grandparents and my auntie and all my friends that I'd lost over the years. But I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to heal. I'm meant to break all the generational traumas. And it's not easy. You can fast track all this stuff with different herbs that alter the mind. But I don't necessarily think that it's good, because that's like somebody handing you a huge sack full of shit in a condensed version, you know, and I think you need to be a very strong person mentally, spiritually, to go through that process, those rituals. This is just my take on things. I love you all very much. I wish you great happiness. I wish me great happiness too. Because these times, you know, of living in our shadow selves, our worthless selves, our good-for-nothing selves, our dumb selves, all those labels and words that we'd heard growing up. It's time for that. Shed that skin and walk into your true self. You're a child of God. We're all the miracle. God bless you guys.